Today we are going to fix 5 things in PriceOye application which bothers me as a user, and we are going to see how to make that application usable for normal users. And as a designer, I'm going to fix those 5 issues. Actually, I found a lot of issues, but the problem is I cannot fix everything on this video. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you the problems that I see as a user and where are the gaps in the application design and user experience design, and what are the pain points for the user, and as a business where you are losing your money. As an e-commerce application, what you need is to clarity in terms of your deals, your offers, your price. Everything should be updated. Everything should be in line what is going on your application. Everything should be updated. Nothing should be outdated, and especially as big as you are and in the competition. So first thing, what I noticed, I opened the application, I got this summer sale 13 June to 22nd June. This banner is 1 month old. And what is this banner though? Like, who designed this banner? I mean, like, no offense to the designer, but it just looks like it's very pixelated, first of all. Then what the problem with this is it looks very like childish, and it's just colors and things like doesn't make sense for like e-commerce application, even though you want to show summer feel, but there are a lot of other ways to show instead of using these kind of colors. This just doesn't make sense here, and everything is pixelated, which means it looks like a very cheap app. And to be honest, at this point I thought I should leave the app as a user personally, because I was feeling like what kind of offer value would that application would give me when they do not put any value on the application. So that's the problem that I thought. Now after 5-10 seconds I got into this homepage. Now looking at this homepage personally is it just doesn't look like professionally designed application. These colors, the blue colors, I get it that you are using your brand colors, but you choose your brand colors to be more accessible, and you see that if it's going to work with other colors like white, dark, or lighter colors or darker colors, and then you decide, okay, this is my brand color. And even if your brand color is something, for example this blue, but you don't use same blue on your application or web application, because that color, that brand color maybe is not legible, or accessibility wise is not great, so you use a darker tones. That's why you make a palette maybe in HSL or OKLCH format. So that's something that you need to understand, that these are the issue. And personally, look at this sign-in banner just doesn't make sense over here. For example, sign in for the best experience, but I cannot even see this, and it's so badly done with the opacity showing background, and this blue is not very readable, legible. And on top of that, cherry on top, I don't know why you guys did that, but this background doesn't make sense to me. But okay, so let's go forward from this. And anniversary sales just doesn't make sense. And these, like, overall it just doesn't feel like I'm in an application that I can trust, and your tagline is trusted app. So okay, so this, when I sign in, even though sign in experience I didn't like, but this was not the worst experience that I got. It's fine, but it's not great. It was, even though it could not paste simple copy paste OTP directly from email or from SMS, it just doesn't make sense to me. But I was like, okay, just go ahead with it. Alright, so I am now in PriceOye homepage, signed in. Now this just looks fine. I think they tried to copy the RAS, so I mean, like, it's fine. But now the problem begins here. Okay, so I got into the category side. Okay, And now what happens here is I have these sidebar items, then I have categories, which not so much makes sense when I go into the settings in the sidebar. In phone application, it doesn't make sense over here, the categories and things like that. And then obviously I didn't like the homepage and their layout, and how to fix that I'll show you in a moment. Then I got into the category search, which shows some weird way these icons for the brands. I don't know why would you do that. These filters are sorted by, in terms of UI, it's just bad, because who would do these sort by and filter by buttons like this in a professional app? And it's not like, it's very feminine. It doesn't look like it's a it's a tech app, and these colors are just bad enough to make me puke. But it's fine. These things happens, but I've been seeing these issues like for like past few years, like past 1 year. Now, when I search something, okay. Now search result is this, okay. Now, okay, it doesn't make sense how this search is working. I don't know, by price, by my relevancy or something, but it doesn't show me what did I search. Search result is here, but I don't know if I want to change something. What did I search actually? Did I write the brand name or power bank? You should show something as a feedback that somebody searched this keyword, and you should show that keyword over here. Okay, other than that, it looks like, I don't know, maybe sometimes it doesn't give me relevant results that it should do. When it comes to like this product detail page, a few things are fine, but for example, this top bar doesn't make sense over here. And then there is this breadcrumb, and there's this title. It doesn't make sense. If you are showing the breadcrumb, then don't show the title, because I am also seeing the title over here, right? So it doesn't make sense. And now when I scroll down, suddenly what happens is, let me show you. I don't know, for some reason, for weird reason, I'm scrolling and I'm getting, I don't know why I'm getting other power banks and just right across the scroll, because I should see the details of the product. I should see the specification, where it's very later on after the similar products, which doesn't make sense when you are reviewing something and you want to see reviews, you want to see specification details, and then you want to see FAQs, and then maybe recommended products or similar products or frequently bought, these kind of stuff. But the first priority is to show the product details, specification, banners or something related to that specific product, and then you show the reviews. You can switch in between, you can show the reviews first, or you can create tabs, but that doesn't make sense showing similar products right across the scroll when I need to know, because that's where you lose money, you lose interest of the user. Nobody wants to scroll and finding things. And even though these text sizes are very small, as a user, I would leave the application. I was like, it's very stressful as a user for me. And I know there are a lot of people that hates using PriceOye application just because it has so many problems and it has so many irrelevant things that it should not be on the front or should be prioritized. And sometimes they're just some bugs that sometimes it goes into the payment and then payment does not process, not because of bank, but just PriceOye an application, it has its problems sometimes. So why would you trust some brand who has these much problems in their application and their tagline is trusted hai? That doesn't make sense. So now we have filters. Okay, personally, I didn't know how it is working because I have searched something, and the filter should be based on that search. It should be shown to me. Like for example, if I've searched power bank, then it should show me the price range is fine, but then primary camera and RAM and stuff doesn't make sense here. Screen size doesn't make sense. I don't know why it happens, but this is not how you make your UX. You should do what people has searched, and according to those search, you should show the filters and sort by according to that search, because that's irrelevant for me for now. Okay, and I feel like this is, and what they're try to do is change the web, the PriceOye.com in a web view or something into the application, because the sidebars and things does look like very like how it's done in website, but it's not optimized for mobile devices properly or made for phones. All right, okay. Some options are great over here, because this is why people trust when PriceOye says that open box policy or things like that. You can open your box without paying, check the product, and then pay. That's a pretty good policy, but this is why your USP is, does not weigh that much, because other parts of your area or your application or your service does not work, and that makes, a bad experience for user, and that's what the customer experience CX is. Personally, I didn't like this card screen, so I don't know, it just looks very weird and does not make any sense over here. A lot of things are very disorganized and does not follow any hierarchy. These texts does not make it is very legible or accessible for the users who are colorblind. This is going to be very, very bad. Then apply coupon doesn't look very intuitive. I don't know, it's just too many font sizes. Nothing is aligning to what to look at first and what is the most prioritized thing over here. I don't know, it just feels very, very shady to me, to be honest, this kind of application. And then I ordered it and things like that. I have done a lot of things, choose payment method, cash on delivery, and things like that. Then I got the confirmation call. Okay, that's fine, but this order receipt has one problem. The problem is this. First, what is this? What is this? Like, who writes with white text on the light, bright orange or yellow color? Again, the problem, layouting problem, the color problem, the legibility problem. A lot of problems are there in the receipt itself. Okay, other than that, what problem that we are seeing over here is when I go to track my order, okay, and pending orders because I didn't confirm it yet, then I cannot cancel that order, or I cannot modify or do something with this order. I just track now. Okay, I get the point that you can cancel by call when the call you receive, but in an application there should be an option to cancel my order, not just by phone. Maybe I don't have my phone right now, I don't want to accept the call right now. Maybe something happens, I should have the option to confirm the order manually from the application and on the call as well. Or maybe at least if you don't want to confirm your order from phone because it could be you could use anyone's phone number, then you should be able to cancel the order at least, or modify the order, or do something, because it just looks blank and I could not do anything in this order, and overall it's just bad experience for a user. If I accidentally ordered it and I want to just right away cancel it, I know you can do it on the phone, the phone call you receive for the confirmation, but there are a lot of cases you don't have your phone with you. So you should have an ability to cancel your order. Then these are the five problems that I found. Now what I'm going to do is show you how I am going to fix this problem, because actually I've done for a few of the details, application design. Obviously it's not perfect, because obviously this is for the video purposes, to show what can be done and what even you can make it even better than what I did over here. So let's just see what I have done and how to fix those problems. First thing what I would do is, this is outdated low contrast summer promo that I saw. This is very childish, and I don't know, and even though a script intro is like out of the thumb reach, which is very bad if you are not letting your user to just skip it because you don't want to see the ad or app or something deal right now, because you just open your application, it's the first thing you see. You don't want to see that. So there should be an ability to skip, and there should be a loader kind of over here that would be easily be seen in phones, because top loader does not very intuitive in phones. That's the first thing. And maybe you could add whatever the image you want, but at least use this kind of color. See the difference between these colors. This is the same shade, just a little bit darker, just for the application purposes, for the purpose of using a right color to show, a better text in visibility and legibility. So this is where I would put banner with this background, and any banner you could choose over here. The next thing that I would suggest what you guys should do is, instead of showing this blank screen, you should show something like this, like at least some skeleton finding you the best prices. Do something that's interactive. Basically, user don't want to be held on like on white screen. This is the worst of the worst user experience you could ever do on the application, showing blank screen for 10 seconds. Now, the problem what I found in this homepage is, as a user, just too many banners, and I don't know if they are categories or they are tabs, or it just make me confused. Okay. Other than that, this top bar, the search bar, whatever you call it, nobody first uses your mic for these kind of searches, and then this color doesn't make sense, as I said. Then this is the problem. The bottom bar looks fine, but there's also a problem in this bottom bar is, you are prioritizing cart and account, but you're not prioritizing search or finding categories or notifications. Maybe we could rearrange these menu items. So for this, what I've done is, first, let's look at this. Like, what I did is I used the same color, but the darker shade. And applications, you can change the language from here, because you ask in the sign in and sign up that what language you want to use. But I believe you want to localize application, so I added over there, but it's not important over here. You can add for account information, or go to account from here. And then a proper search bar, instead of just a small search bar over here, is for the searching purposes. Then sign in for order tracking and safeguards. This looks much cleaner, right? I don't know. I missed it the first few times. But this is something, it's showing you the importance, but also is not on the face. Then there are multiple limited time of deals that you can show to your customers, to your users, that their anniversary deals are there. Join PriceOye for that if they haven't joined. And there are shop all deals to show the products and a little bit of highlights of that. And that card does all of the job that it is doing it right now. and look at this and look at this. This has much more cleaner way to deal with this, and you can do even better. It's just my idea of doing, and obviously I'm not getting paid for this. So I'm just doing it to show like how concise and cleanly you can do this, right? This is why do you have to have this, and you can go over all of the shops, and you can have multiple these side by side. For example, if you have anniversary sale and you have another sales going on, maybe other offers for another audience, you can have multiple cards over here instead of showing this kind of banner. And then you can show today's deals. You can see all of those. And then this bottom bar is making much more sense than this. Not because I made it as a user, it's making more sense because you have account now. You can even remove this. I added this because there's something you might want to add. But you can have search, you can have cart, you can have categories, and you can home. Search is the first thing on your tab. So that's what you do on e-commerce application. This is why I put it on the bottom and the most right way, because you use most of the time the right hand and the right point. These are the few things that you want to add in your application, fix in your application to make it more professional, more profound, more cleanly done with clarity, that which section is focused on what things and how to show cleanly to your customers to get the more sales, because this could lose a lot of sales just because of how it's showing and looks very cheap. And audience that are mature enough would not like to buy these kind of applications, because that doesn't give you the idea of professionalism. Now the next thing was the search, right? Search has very ordered things. Don't ignore this. And I did a very small thing. All right. What I did is I cleanly showed what I searched with. I don't have to show this top banner that I was showing on the homepage, because that doesn't make sense over here. I want things to be clear on the search page. What I've searched, I don't have to use those, focusing colors of my brand over here. Now showing 6 results for that matches smartwatch, and you can increase the size if you want, because that's something I'm thinking I should increase right now. Now I'm seeing these product details and all of these items over here, and I also see there is this filter, and I don't have to go and sort by and filter by and click over here. It doesn't make sense in mobile applications. You just go click on the filters, or it just sort things out based on these chips like fast delivery, or maybe something digital display or under 10,000 just over here. So it's directly accessible, very fast, and user don't have to think. And this just makes significant searching faster, and because sometimes you just need to find things fast, and this does not make things fast. It's just making me slow. And obviously as I told you in the previous, that filters should have relevant details according to the search items. So this is why I added based on the search under 10,000, maybe digital display, some more analog or something like that. So we can add multiple, items over here. And also, for example, in this one, I don't know if we don't have any wish list or something like this over here. So the problem with this, I added the wish list. So there are a lot of cases when you want your users just not to directly add into the cart, but add to the wish list, because according to the wish list, you can show them in later that related products, and it can increase your sales a lot, because people likes to save things not in the cart but in the wish list to buy later, or maybe there are any discounts in future. That's a very important feature that you're missing over here. Now, these are the few things that should be done right away in the application on the home page that would, I think, significantly improve your sales and positioning as a brand. Now, the product detail page. I have told you the problems I saw over here. Few things are fine, but warranty challenge is good, but it's, I don't know, I cannot read it directly. It's just very small. And then similar mobile or something related to this doesn't make sense over here, because I want to see the information of this phone. So I want to see the warranty. Now these are the warranty, but after the similar mobiles, and then again the products that go together doesn't make sense over here. And then I get the specification, which is, I don't know why it is like this. And similar products highlights are, over here. So why I am getting the tabs down here? It just doesn't add up into the application and making the cohesive user experience over here. Then this is fine, but it's again these illustrations looks very cheap, doesn't look very iconic, or even though a small single stroke icons would work over here, but these kind of, I don't know, it just feels like very outdated. These features are fine, but still it could be better when in terms of clarity. Then show highlights, that's perfectly fine, but other than that it doesn't make sense. And then frequently bought together is fine, but again this has a lot of problems in terms of legibility, a very small fonts. And then shop more category doesn't make sense over here, because I'm searching a phone, for example. I'm in a product phone category. Why would I go shop more categories right now? All right, it doesn't make sense over here in application, because it's just increasing the scroll size and showing irrelevant details. And then discover more Xiaomi devices, that makes sense over here after that. And then official online retailers, it doesn't make sense right now at this point. As a user, I don't need this. Some users may be using this, but I don't know, and now it's PriceOye's top seller. Again, this does not add up as valuable things showing on a scroll, and just doesn't make sense a lot. Shop by price is fine, but showing it here is, I don't know, this pink color with that white, I mean, okay. It's just bad. What's in the box? It should be in the third or fourth section. Then it is installment plans. Okay, now you're showing this installment plans whole detail over here. Instead, what you can do is you can create a separate page for installment plan, or maybe a collapsible for installment plan, because right now it's open for me the Standard Chartered. Why it's open for me the Standard Chartered? Why it's like this? I don't have any of this. Maybe I have Faisal Bank, but why it's open Standard Chartered? Most of the people have Standard Chartered Bank? No. So that's a problem. Now I got again this upgrade to premium option. Again, it doesn't make sense. If you're showing the relevant products, just show the relevant products, but don't try to change the names and premium products. And upgrade to premium is showing me the mid-range phones. Voila. Habibi, what are you doing? And then shop by brand. And then I got to know, oh, finally I got reviews. Because reviews is not as important as showing my relevant products, right? I mean, like, it should be in the first, second, third section maximum, because it's the most important thing. People trust your product just by seeing the reviews. Now, and now I see the specs, review, and compare. That's a good feature, but you see the problem with this excessive scrolling and showing irrelevant details on the screen. It does not make your application look, oh, I have these much products in my application. No, people want relevant things, short, concise, minimal. Yeah, you have to show them those items that needs to be bought together or relevant products. But here we saw that there are not relevant products, and an upgrade to premium has mid-range phones, which doesn't make the whole customer experience very crazy. It's just really crazy. It could be done in a better way. For example, this power bank, I have, for example, I've came from smartwatch and then go to from the power bank. There is option. There is simple, clean way to show this, right? The price properly showing the discount what I'm getting. Look at this. How can you read this? And just think about the people with bad eyesight or maybe color blindness. This is going to be a nightmare for them. Okay, and then I added the add-ons on this, just like this, what you have here, but it's just a little bit better way. Now this has installment plans, but I don't know as a user, should I click it or not? As a user, I'm confused. Now here it's very clear. You can go directly from here to installment plan instead of scrolling all the way down and then see again the list of other plans. So it just doesn't make sense. We just click on the installment plans and then you see all the plans over there. And then there is overview, specification, reviews, and recommended. At the start, you have all your tabs, your overview, your all the details of the product, specifications, and just see the difference. And then I just added this delivers in clarity in 1 to 2 days. It's just based on what you are offering. It's just reviews, which is on top, very clearly shown in this. I'm not saying just to make your application like this. It's just how it should be, and it should be better than this, what I did in few hours. And then frequently brought together. There are a lot of things that could make sense here. What's in the box is showing much, it's much more clearer way to show like in the listicles rather than just boxes. Maybe it's just a personal choice, I guess. And then there's official warranty, and this is much more clear than what we had in the warranty over here. All right, this has much more visibility and get the right, you just get the eye to understand. Okay, so this is what they are offering. Here it's hard to understand. This looks like a banner, and this looks like something important and convincing. And then I added you might also like these products, and you can add multiple things down below, like upgrade to premium, any of the stuffs after this, but no irrelevant stuff. These are the two things that I would fix in this application and product details as well. All right, so as I told you that delivery details are not very clearly defined and shown to me, but it has done a fairly decent job over here. For example, we have expected delivery and things like that. It's clear, but it could be better in terms of font sizes and font colorings. So I just fixed the small stuff over here. For example, like it's pending confirmation, all right, and then order placed, and then maybe after awaiting confirmation via phone call, then it could be shipped in 2 to 3 businesses after confirmation, and then delivered. Expected delivery date. Now I have estimated delivery timing. You could copy exactly like this. It's much more informative and descriptive. And then there's order items, and I should be able to track that order, cancel that order, or chat to the support. So this would make much more sense as a user that, okay, these are the items that I can do. These are the actions that I can take based, on my order. Okay, so as I mentioned that order receipt also needs to be a little bit cleaner in terms of hierarchy, font sizes, and like legibility and accessibility. The colors should be decided in a much better way what we are saying. So I did a small tweakings in those items. It's just to show the order summary is first to show the product. So you can go back to the product by just tapping on it. You see the market price and sale price and delivery charges and whatever the stuff over here. Then payment method, what you want to, what you have selected. And then you see a delivery address and all of the order summary that you have. Then you can go continue. That's when you are adding from moving from cart to order summary. So these are the issues that I found in this application that make me go nuts, because I like PriceOye's USP and I used to order, but after a lot of issues in their application, bugs and stuff, I stopped using it. So that's something that you need to think when you are designing your phone application. You have to think who you are designing for, what kind of users you have. Are you really building the trust, or are you just throwing stuff on the screen? And sometimes even you have good UI, good stuff, but still people are not buying because of the trust factor that you're not showing to the user is sometimes showing bugs, and those bugs could, irritate a lot of users, just like 10 seconds loading just to get into the app without showing any kind of interaction. Maybe if your application is taking much time just to load, then add something in between, maybe add puzzle or do something, gamify it. So that would make much more interactive. Your application would be much more interactive. So that's it for today, and I think you might understand what I mean today and what I try to teach or try to tell. I'm not trying to teach over here. I'm just trying to make things better for people and not trying to point fingers, just to make things and fix things. So let's see on the other one, another review, another audit for the application. And this series is going to be phenomenal for me and testing my limits, because I have not done things like this before for videos. So it's going to be very interesting. I'm gonna audit and fix the things I hate in applications. And if you want me to fix any application that you think that you hate as a user, then you can comment down below and let me know what I should do next. So see you in the next one.